Hello there everybody. Every day is a reason to celebrate. So let's check the calendar and see what we have to celebrate today. The Wii U turns 10 years old today. And of course, as a small YouTuber, I am kind of obligated to talk about how great the Wii U was. So...
10 years, man. I can't believe that the Wii U is already so old and still people have never heard about this thing. It was all in the advertisement with it. The Wii U was revealed at E3 2011 and the problem with it was they just didn't show the console. They focused too much on the new Wii U gamepad. So much in fact that people thought that it was just some brand new controller for the Wii. It didn't help that they showed off games like New Super Mario Bros. Me and Wii Sports Club. Games that look way too much like games you could already play on the Wii. The reveal was so bad in fact that Nintendo decided to re-reveal the Wii U in E3 of 2012. And you'd think they learned to show the console more? Well, yeah, they did, but it was always way blurry in the distance. People were way too confused on what this thing actually was. Was the new controller for the Wii? I mean, it has the same resolution as the Wii. Or was it a completely new console? Well, I do see something that looks like a Wii. Nintendo's advertisement didn't help either. I have never in my life seen a Wii U commercial on TV. Me personally, I was invested in the Wii U and really wanted one, but my mom kept telling me, but honey, we already have a Wii. Besides that, the game advertisements from Nintendo were so bad this generation. I bet you've probably seen those bad Wii U commercial compilations on YouTube. They focus way too much on kids and families. Nintendo does it way better with this generation. Just look at the first look at Nintendo Switch trailer. They focused more on teenagers and hardcore gamers, and it proceeded to outsell the Wii, which was a phenomenon, heck, a lifestyle for a while there. The other problem with the Wii U was the third-party support. It was not that it was not there. There were some stellar third-party titles and loads of indie games, but come on, 161 physical games released in PAL territories, from which only 38 were first-party, given there are more digital games like 300 virtual console games. We'll get to the virtual console later though.
But the Wii U doesn't consist of all bad things, of course. It wouldn't be a celebration if it was. Well, let's look at what the Wii U actually did good.
Well, to start off, the Wii U was Nintendo's first outing in the HD console market, and it was capable of running some awesome looking games. And while the Wii U didn't have that many games, it did have some great games, such as Mario Kart 8, which is still getting support on the Switch through the Booster Course pack. In total, this is the best selling Mario Kart game ever. Nintendo Land, which was kind of trying to replicate the charm of Wii Sports, and while it failed to do that, it was still a really fun game to play with friends and family. Super Mario 3D World, at the time definitely not what any Mario fan wanted from a 3D Mario game, but now it's a pretty good game. Among those there are of course titles like Smash for Wii U, and of course Splatoon started out on this console, definitely one of my favorite series ever. The gameplay is so damn unique and the music is just mwah. Of course, Breath of the Wild, one of the greatest games of all time, was a Wii U game. Yeah, I think everyone thinks of this as a Switch game by now, but it originally was made only for Wii U. And of course for the rest of the Zelda fandom who owns a Wii U, there were the two GameCube Zelda games, Twilight Princess and Windwaker HD, which were both really solid titles and great re-releases. Even though you could already play Twilight Princess on your Wii U through the Wii, which hey, you can play all Wii games natively on this thing. The Wii U basically has a whole Wii built into it, which makes it the best modern way to play Wii games natively. It's easy to access and you can even play Wii games through the gamepad. The gamepad also has a built-in sensor bar, so I can finally play Wii Sports outside. Though the gamepad doesn't have the greatest reach, the gamepad still needs to be within around 10 meters or so of the console itself. And with help of the virtual console, it defines itself as the most optimal way of playing older games on a modern console. You can say that the Switch has a virtual console, but A, the library is 70% who gives a fuck games. B, there are only NES, SNES, N64 and Mega Drive games, and C, it's only accessible through a subscription service. The Wii U has NES, SNES, N64, Wii, Game Boy Advance, DS and even f***ing TurboGrafx titles. Together rounding up to that are around roughly 700 titles. The Switch doesn't even scratch the surface of that amount. Now at the time that I'm recording this, the Wii U and 3DS Eshop still have a couple of months left until their demise. So you can still buy virtual console games and even full Wii U games. Now that we're talking about the eShop, the thing has so much personality. It has some bopping tunes, though not as good as the Wii Shop channel, and it's busting in personality. Just compare this to the Switch's eShop, which has none of this nature. Now the eShop will be closing down in March of 2023, which still keeps time left to buy some games. I'd recommend picking up any virtual console game you haven't picked up yet. Even when the eShop closes down, you will still be able to play these games, either physically or digitally, because when the eShop closes, Wii U prices will probably skyrocket. And the only way to prevent spending 250 euros on a game is to buy it digitally. Also, any DLC for any game you won't be able to pick up again in the future, so be sure to get the DLC you'd like to buy. After the storefront closes down, you will still be able to re-download anything you have bought, so essentially you can buy DLC for games you don't own yet. Everything I just said also applies to the 3DS, by the way. Yeah, Nintendo is just killing two birds in one stone, but the 3DS will be for another day. Now most games have been ported to the Nintendo Switch or any other console out there, but there are still some damn good exclusives on the Wii U. Games like Game & Wario, Kirby and the Rainbow Paintbrush, Nintendo Land, the first Splatoon, Star Fox Zero, Mario Party 10, Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival.
I'm sorry, I had to get it out.
Most of these games use features from the gamepad that can be doable on other platforms, but are most prominent on the Wii U. Either that or the games are just trash. And hey, the gamepad is pretty neat. It's a big bulky controller with a whole screen built into it. I have talked about this in a previous video and all of those things still hold up pretty well. Nice to hold in your hands and to play with, but there are other options. If you don't like the Wii U gamepad, then the Wii U Pro controller is for those people who want a more normal gaming experience. It's not supported in every game, but only for games that do not utilize the gamepad like Super Smash Bros. Or Breath of the Wild. You can also use Wiimotes on this thing. This is required to boot up Wiimote to play older Wii games, but also some Wii U games utilize these. Just look at the back of the box and there you can see what controller you can use in what game. I also wanted to talk about the UI of the Wii U. Just like the eShop, the interface is bursting of personality. It's a slick and really clean menu. You can also use folders, and like, whatever happened to these things, man? On Wii U and 3DS you had the ability to make folders, which was such a nice feature. The Switch has groups. These are sort of like folders, but they are muffled away somewhere in the all games list. And I always forget they exist, and on the Wii U it was much easier to access. So, now is the ultimate question. Should you pick up a Wii U 10 years after the console launched? Yes. I'm not saying you should buy it over a Switch, however, because most games have been ported over to that thing and it is still getting support. But I'd say pick up a Wii U as long as the store is still up. I am not going to do this because I don't own that many Wii U games, but there are hundreds to thousands of videos on YouTube going over digital only games you should buy before the eShop closes in 2023. And also the Wii U can currently be found for around 100 to 150 bucks, so if you still want a chance to pick it up for this cheap, go for it. The Wii U is one of my favorite consoles and I'm really bummed out that I didn't get one in 2012 or so. But it's whatever, I still really like the console and what it did for Nintendo. Like, yeah, they may have almost made Nintendo step down to become a third party, but it inspired the Switch because it's basically the same design as the gamepad, just the console built into the gamepad.
So yeah, that's the Wii U for now. But let's check the calendar and see what holiday it is tomorrow.